Hello guys, today we're talking about movies that are far better than I expected them to be. Call of the Wild is a movie that released in 2020, and it was a massive box office failure because they spent a lot of money on this movie, and also its box office was cut short because of the COVID-19 as well. But the movie was considered a big flop. So yesterday, I finally decided to see this movie and see if it was really that bad. Nope. It was not as bad as I thought it was. Maybe during Black Friday I might actually get this movie. That that. But this movie was actually a very heartwarming and very great movie. Okay, this movie is basically the whole entire movie. The entire story is about the dog. The entire movie is not about is the people are part of the story, but the main character is the dog and how he basically was domesticated and he was stolen and then he was made for sweating and then basically the other guys had no use for him, so someone else now owned him, and the other guy was pretty bad, and basically at the end the one guy who basically Harrison Ford basically at the the movie's part is very simple. I'm not gonna say the rest of the plot, but yeah, basically at the end the dog Buck, he basically becomes a wild dog, and it's basically a satisfactory story because basically he becomes the leader of the dog herd in the movie. And at 4 cells, he sees wolf, where his spirit animal is a wolf. Basically, he sees this wolf in his vision the whole movie, and it's basically implying that yeah, he essentially, the wolf is basically essentially in the future of his destiny is to become a part of the wild, which is what the movie is called Call of the Wild, essentially. It's also based off a book as well. It has been adapted many times as the most recent adaptation. And yeah, the CGI is pretty okay. But the story is what matters more. The story matters more than the CGI. This is one of those movies where it's about the story. I didn't really, the CGI sometimes is pretty bad in the movie, but I paid way more. The story is way more engaging than the CGI. Some movies, the CGI kind of rules the movie. Okay, Black Panther is one, but unlike Black Panther, Call of the Wild, the story was so engaging, the story was so great that essentially the CGI of the dog, not basically the dog being a CGI animal, did not really matter because the story was pretty great. But the CGI was still messy at some points. It was still a bit soppy, but it captured the dog. It captured a dog pretty greatly, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, again, the dog looked pretty real. It didn't look fake. It only looked fake in a few parts, a few shots. Well, it looked fake. The dog, the wolf as well, and all the other dogs in the movie were also CGI as well. And yep, this movie was actually pretty good and heartwarming. So if you want to watch a movie about dogs and yeah, basically since dog was CGI, no dogs were actually harmed in the movie because you can't harm a CGI thing because CGI is not real. It's computer generated image. So yep, this movie, yeah, there was some dog, basically, yeah, there are some scenes of this movie some dog lovers were not like seeing, but again, it shows the painfulness of some people infecting animals. So of course, yeah, so it shows that scene. So yep, what score I'm gonna give this movie? It's an 8 out of 10, way better than I expected it to be, and far better than what Rotten Tomatoes said it was. So that's basically it about this video. Goodbye.